Hey there, we're looking at your house right now over by the garage, and what I'm going to do is walk around the house and talk about the different issues you got, and so we can figure out what to do about it. Probably already know this, but your roofing shingles, not something I can really help you with, but they're really brittle. They break apart like glass. In the back of the house, I've already finished pressure washing it, and I've started scraping, sanding. Now, all of the trim around the windows is in really poor shape. The paint, the pressure washer was running at about a third of what it can do, and it was still blowing paint off the house all over the place. So, with so much paint on the ground, I'm going to have to rake up around and clean up around the house. That should be done tomorrow. Now, as far as the woodwork goes, with how damaged it is, I'm going to try to fill that in with putty and Bondo, and then I'm going to oil prime it and paint it. The least amount of work I think we can do is just to paint the bare wood. Now, if we just paint the bare wood, you're still going to have these shingles over here that are yellowing. It looks like it's either rust from the old nails coming out of the trim, or maybe tannin from the wood. More likely than not, it's rust from the old nails. As you can see around this window, a lot of the paint was coming off. We've already done some of the sanding. This window in particular, I'm going to try to zoom in here. Okay, I can't zoom in while filming. But that wood is really rotted. There's some heavy duty rot right there, but I'm going to fill it in with Bondo and hopefully it'll be okay. Right here we tried to do some scraping, but I don't know if you can see me pushing in here with my finger. It's like this for a decent amount. This board in particular should probably be replaced, but I'm going to try to, cover it up, quick fix it to keep more water from getting in and making it even worse. This board up here, a lot of the paint was coming off around here too. I'm going to go up and show you this board directly because it is really terrible. I'm sure you already know about this one because there's aluminum flashing nailed to the side of the house here. But that is bad news bears. That really has to go. I'll fill it in with wood putty and oil prime over it. Got some paint just falling off the side of the house all over the place. But I'll scrape that off and oil prime and paint. Now, I know you want to take this from a minimalist approach. So what I'm going to do to make sure we can get it done in 3 days is I'm just going to do the scraping and the puttying and the priming where there's bare wood. The rest of the house does need painting pretty badly, but it doesn't have to be done immediately. You will see further rotting in the shingles from the bad paint, but it's not an immediate threat. Up there, your chimney needs to be repointed. You have bricks that have fallen out, and most of your mortar is gone. This window is actually looking pretty good right here. Not that much peeling, almost no rot. The window next to it, very fucked up. I could snap this right off the house without even trying. I'll fill that with wood putty and oil prime it. I cannot guarantee you anything on any of these rotted windows because it's just not going to last until the wood's replaced. Alright, we're going to go around to the front of the house now. I'll keep it close so we can see everything up nice close. This window, Window number 1 on the front of the house. Far side is good. The siding is not bad. I notice you have some moisture problems right here. That's where that browning is from. It also looks like over the years, one of the times it was whitewashed because it is oxidized and it is washing off the house. And that might be why you've noticed some of this splotchiness. It's not the paint coming off, it's just the paint is powderized and just it's washing right off the house with the pressure wash. Also, something of note, the shingles going up the side of the house on the, like the very bottom shingles, the ones that are touching the side of the house, have sucked in water and are rotting. Not that bad. I'm just gonna scrape it, prime it, and paint it. What you should do is when it comes time to replace those shingles, if they're gonna touch the side of the house, a really good technique, kind of an old school thing that you don't see done a lot, is you prime all sides of the shingle after it's cut and ready to be put up there. And when you do that, water can't seep up from the shingles on the house as it runs down the flashing and get into the shingle and rot it up. Because the grain from the shingle acts like a sponge and just sucks up all that water and causes a lot of rot. Your new window here is looking pretty good. Not really rotted anywhere on it. The last time it was painted, paint is just not hanging on very well, so it's peeling off pretty good. Up here it's peeling off really good. You got that rust or tannin problem again. A little bit of scraping, priming around there needs to be taken care of. Right in here, this window, it's actually a hole. Probably bust that apart too. It's soaking wet, so I don't know how well it's gonna hold anything. I'm gonna fill it with wood putty, and the wood putty will dry, and I'll prime that and paint it. But all this rotted wood is I really can't tell you it's gonna be okay after I paint it. Like, it'll just last, it'll keep more water from getting in. The bottom piece of wood right there, there's just about no paint on it. Okay, good. That's not supposed to have paint on it. That is sealed with polyurethane. This whole area right here is looking pretty good. This area is looking pretty decent until you get up to this trim board going along the top, and right down at the end there's some rock going on. Not as serious as the other ones, so that's another thing to add to the list. Oh yeah, by the way, all of this brush up against the side of your house, that all prevents the sun from drying up the moisture on the side of the house, and there was really heavy mold buildup on it. That will affect the lifespan of your shingles, and especially if you paint. Again, over here we have some shingles above that awning that were sucking up water, and there's a light rot. Nothing to be too concerned about compared to the rest of it. I'll just scrape that off, prime it, paint it. That window is broken. It's the outside window, not one of the 16 panes on the inside. 15 panes on the inside, sorry. But the big storm window is smashed. That was smashed before I got here. I don't know how it happened. But up there we'll need a lot of sanding and scraping and priming and painting as well. This trim board is peeling. It'll need some painting. All of these paned windows need a lot of painting and a lot of love. They all need to be reglazed. I don't know if you're going to want to do that yet. Reglazing a window is pretty expensive. Like, I would normally charge about $5 a pane, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4, 24. So you have about $120 right there for that one window to reglaze it and paint it. So I mean, $240 right there. So you might not want to take that on just yet, considering you could knock the whole darn window out and replace it for about $200 and have a window with an extremely high R rating versus these old ones that are probably heat sieves. These shingles going up along the roof line again are shedding a lot of paint. This whole area is shedding a lot of paint. This chimney is not as bad as the other one. You probably don't have to repoint that one anytime soon. But I would really sincerely suggest that you either have me or someone else as soon as possible cut this brush back from the house. I know you like it, but it's really working against you here. You don't have to just decapitate everything either. You can just, take some of it back. But the more you take back, the better off you're going to be. In the front of the house, you're going to have to take back a lot. You don't have to lose these whole trees, but you do need some heavy grooming. It wouldn't hurt to get rid of this whole tree, so maybe you get that door back. And this shrub is actually just pressing right up against the side of the house. It made it extremely hard to pressure wash it. Alright. Well, that is that for the front side of the house. I'm going to go back around to the back so I can point out a few more things that I need to get up on a ladder to point out. Alright, here's my partner Ash over here. I'll just have him point at a few things as soon as I get in position. Alright, you can notice where the dormer is above the roof. We got one on, two on each of these windows. There's not much rot, but they're losing all the paint. But I'll be taking care of all that for you, hopefully in the next few days. I'm thinking today we can get all the scraping done if we work a nice long day. Tomorrow we can probably get all the priming and puttying done. And the last day we'll be painting everywhere. The downside is when we put new paint over this, you are going to have a splotchy house. I suppose it's already a little splotchy because of the oxidizing whitewash or stain that washed off with the pressure wash. But it's going to glow where I put this new paint on, and everything else is going to look not so super. But I'm just going to cover up bare wood because that's the bare minimum to do to prevent further damage. If you want more than that, we can just keep it going as long as you feel. But the sooner you make up your mind and tell me what you want to do, the more efficiently I can take care of things and in the end save you a bunch of dough. Because if today you were to tell me I want the whole house painted, I could completely change the way I'm doing things, and instead of doing piecemeal spots here and there, I would plastic off these windows after I finish sanding everything, and I would prime the hell out of just about everything. In fact, I would probably, if you wanted to go the full Monty, we would oil prime the bare wood, then spray prime the whole house, back brushing it all in, and then spray on the paint. And you'd have a perfectly painted, very nice looking property. Of course, you would still have to deal with all the rot. So maybe that's not the best avenue to go down. Alright, well, I'll talk to you soon.